Okay, so this is where we've finished off. So we're just going to apply some finishing lines. So you can either do it, you've got three choices. You can either use a pencil and press on harder with it and then rub out the lines you don't need. You can use a fine liner, or you can just use a black biro. Okay, so either will do. So if I try with the fine liner, first of all, so all the lines that you want to keep, you're just going to ink in. So preferably on the straight edges, you can use a ruler. So any lines that you need, just ink them in. If you haven't got a ruler or you don't want to use a ruler, you can do it freehand, but as you draw in, if you think you're going to wander off the lines, just stop, and then it might create this little gap. So I'm trying to draw from my wrist here. In fact, I'm going to use the ruler. There we go. On here. So I'm just going to draw that one in. So all the lines that I want to keep, I'm going to try and ink in with the fine liner. And then eventually all the lines or the construction lines that I've used to make the drawing, I'm going to rub those out. So on the wheel, I'm going to go round here. It's difficult to stay on the line. So each time I think I'm going to wander off, I'm just lifting the pen and then repositioning it, which has created these little gaps, but it doesn't matter. So as it goes around the corner, there we go, around this bit. And the same here. So there wasn't originally a line here, which I've rubbed out, which will give you a right angle, but our Ipod mini's got a curved edge. There we go, and I'll just ink in, let's say these little bits, there we go, something like that. So once we've done that, if we leave it to dry a couple of seconds, put your paper in tension, so stretch it out, and with a rubber, just remove all the construction lines. There we go, something like that. Now, if I light it, top right hand corner, so my light source is coming down from this way. That means the top surface is going to be light. So let's say we do this one green. So I'm going to protect the edges and just going to shade that top. So I want some colour in there, but I'm just doing it really very, very light along the top surface like that. Trying to avoid any scribbles. So if I'm creating any little white gaps, I'm just going back over them. But before I get to the edge here, I'm just going to stop here at this point, and I'll explain why in a minute. So as I shade along this bit, there we go, on this part, I'm going to stop there, and the same on this bit. We're just going to shade along this part. There we go. And then down here, so this is going to be my light tone, but as it goes over here, it will create a highlight because it's got a curved surface, which is like a bleached out area, completely white. So down here, this is going to be my mid-tone, so it's slightly darker, just on the edge here. And then we're going to fade that up to nothing, to white. So we're going to fade that up to white, fade that up to white, fade that one up to white. The same with that one, fade that up to white. On the top, I'm going to fade that to white, fade that to white, fade that to white as well. So you should end up with a white streak running down the middle, which is our highlight. What we then need to do, this is going to be my dark tone on this bit, but it's normally white, this area here. So with a pencil, I'm just going to shade that in. So this is my dark tone, but on the actual product, it's white. So we're just going to shade that in grey. So I'm just going to go back over that. Got quite a few white gaps on it. There we go, something like that. If you want to, you can put a shadow. So you just hold your pencil down on the page like this. Just kind of pick it up with your ruler. You can put a little drop shadow just on the edge. And the same here, a little bit of a drop shadow like that. You can rub that in with your finger. This is completely white here because that's my light source. It's actually white on the product, so I'm going to leave that white. This is going to be my screen. So we're going to try and communicate that it's like a glass surface. So with my like a pale blue, I'm just going to shade the edges and fade that in. If I just press on hard, just shade that in. So just press on hard just on the edge and fade it in. And the same on this one, press on hard and then just fade that in. And then because it's got a reflective surface with a vertical and my ruler, I'm just going to draw in a series of vertical parallel lines which fade away, just to show it's got a reflective surface. Okay, so there's our Ipod mini where we've got finishing lines and it's rendered.